On this week's edition of Flashtalk, brought to you by Bryant Heating & Cooling, we hit the gridiron and talk to head coach Kenni Burns and defensive coordinator Dave Duggan. Katie Schilling joins us to talk about our FlaSHEs Will weekend, and Haley Eckerman talks about the start of MAC play inside the MAC Center. All of that plus a look around Kent State sports. It's all coming up in a flash. Welcome back inside the GFTV studios. It's Flash Talk brought to you by Bryant Heating & Cooling. Dan Griffin alongside head ball coach Kenni Burns. And coach, first and foremost, first victory of the Kent Grid era, first victory of the Kenni Burns era. That has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was a nice feeling for sure. But like I said, after the game, it was great to do it with the guys in the locker room in this group. They've dedicated so much energy and time to this thing, and I appreciate them so much. And for them to throw the Gatorade bath on you and then give you the game ball in the locker room, there's something that I'll never forget, and I definitely enjoyed it.
How important was that to just be able to get out and see that hard work really pay off with a number of trips into the end zone?
You know, it was good. You know, I'd say we started fast and we accelerated at halftime.
Sure.
I think we can finish better, you know, and I think that's something we'll concentrate on this week. But it was good to see the guys progressively grow. You know, we're getting better every single week, which is all I want. I'm not going to look at the result. It's my message from the beginning. I just want to see us get better and better and better, and then the result will take care of himself. And I thought Saturday, you saw the offense get better.
Nearly 300 yards rushing, and that starts with the guys up front. You mixed and matched a number of guys in this past week, and you got to like the results that you saw. Yeah,
you know, we've been playing with the O-line for a couple of weeks now trying to find the perfect five, and what we're learning is that there's probably about 7 guys that can play, and we got to rotate them all in and put them in situations to be advantageous. So it's good to see those guys finally have some success, you know, and the running backs ran well too and broke some tackles, but it was a good combination for our run game.
Now, we'll talk with Coach Duggan a little bit more about the defense, but my goodness, 70 yards through the first 3 quarters. You hold them to 153 yards total, and we were talking about this in the press room. I didn't know you could have a negative QBR, but you held CCSU to a negative QBR. I mean, that was a no-fly zone type of defense on Saturday.
Yeah, you know, we challenged them to play better than they did against Arkansas, and I thought they played pretty well against Arkansas. And they came out and we said it should be a dominating performance. With our talent, we should be able to dominate the performance, and they did. Now the challenge is doing it again, and doing it again and again and again.
All right, last question before we flip attention to Fresno. A little bit lighter one. How long did you let yourself enjoy this victory?
I did the old 24-hour rule. You know, I enjoyed it all the way up until I think I did brunch on Sunday with my parents at about 11. And then I went into work, and it was over. You know, I was on to the next one, and I started breaking down Fresno and getting some information on them, and it's over, and I'm ready to move on and get many more.
Well, it's a 3-0 Fresno club that is coming off an impressive shutout at Arizona State, and Coach Tedford's got his guys playing very, very well.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I played coach a couple times, and they've always had really tough physical teams that do it the right way, and they play the game the right way. So we've got our hands cut out for us this week. We got to do a good job. But you know, the one thing I'll say is we're getting better every week, and as long as we get better in this game and improve, we'll find our way to have some success.
We'll start on the offense. What do they do to try to stress the defense?
You know, they like to throw the ball around. They got a really good quarterback and really good receivers. They do a good job of getting them in space and then letting them break tackles and do what they do. Very similar to UCF with how they go about it. They go fast and they're up tempo. So we got our work cut out for us, and our guys got to understand that, you know, we've got to come out. We got to be assignment sound. We got to play with discipline. Use our details, and then we got to tackle the ball. You know, every chance we get. So we've got our hands full with the offense, and they're a really good football team.
You don't just shut out an opponent. So what are they doing well on the defensive side of the ball that is hanging zeros up on the board?
Yeah, I think their front four on defense is probably as good as we've seen up to this point. You know, they're a really good defensive line. They play hard, they play aggressive, they play physical. They do everything that you want your D-line to do. It's going to be the kind. I told our staff this game's going to come down to the battle of the defensive lines. You know, which defensive line can cause more havoc, because our defensive line is pretty good too. You know, so it'll be interesting to see. And then they've got a really good linebacker and a solid secondary, so they play well together. And I think any good defense, what you see is they're going to play cohesively together, and they do that.
Well, it's 10:30 Eastern time for those wanting to watch. It's on CBS Sports Network. I know you really quickly. What are you guys doing to prepare for that West Coast time flip.
We're practicing at night, so we're gonna practice after classes are done, and we're gonna let them sleep in the morning, then come back, and we'll have meetings around 8 o'clock, and really get on the field about 9:30, and shut her down about 10:45. So our guys are gonna get used to playing at that hour, getting their bodies ready to roll, and they're excited about that. We're calling it a night party, so it's a party at Dick's every night, so it'll be good, and they're excited about it.
So once again, that's 10:30 Eastern time. That game can be seen on CBS Sports Network. Coach, best of luck trying to get the guys acclimated to the time change, and safe travels as we head out to the Golden State.
Yeah, it should be a great game, and hopefully everybody tunes in, and it should be a lot of fun. And go FlaSHEs, Kent Grit.
That's Coach Kenni Burns back with more Flash Talk brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling right after this. Welcome back inside the GFTV studios. It's Flash Talk brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Dan Griffin staying on the gridiron talking a little defense with Coach Dave Duggan. And Coach, thank you again for making a return appearance here on Flash Talk.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Well, let's talk a little shop here. And my goodness, what an effort the last couple of weeks, especially on Saturday, the home opener. You hold CCSU to under 80 yards of total offense going into the fourth quarter and under 200 for the game. You had to be impressed with, just like you've always said, the swarming nature of this defense.
Yeah, that's the thing that we've been emphasizing, Coach Burns and myself, just talking about, how do we improve every week? And obviously we were very disappointed coming out of our first game, and I thought our guys responded well in the second game against Arkansas. And then obviously we improved even more last week, and I was happy for our guys to to have some success and to have that winning feeling again, to get that lousy taste out of your mouth, and hopefully we can continue to grow and improve, this week.
I'm the stats guy, so I'm going to look at the numbers, and one thing that kind of jumps out at me is the amount of just combined tackles. To me, that's means that there's 3, 4, 5 guys at the ball at any one time. One guy may slow them down, but then the rest of the team seems to be there to finish them off, and you're not seeing anybody getting any sort of extra yardage after that first initial contact.
Well, that's the thing that we've been preaching, since we arrived here in spring, and if you have good backside pursuit, it provides depth to your defense. So, they're buying into the philosophy now, and I think our guys are really seeing the improvement and seeing the results. So, if we can continue to play, get guys to run to the football, and I think you'll continue to see us hopefully have multiple guys to the ball carrier. We talk about, multiple hits on the ball carrier, creating turnovers, and we're starting to feel that a little bit, and we were excited to see it this past weekend.
And you can kind of feel the energy going from one play to the other, where the guys are obviously supporting and excited for one another, but they also play with this tenacity that they take every play almost personally. It seems that every yard is an affront to that 11.
Yeah, that's when it gets to be fun, when it's player led. That's what we talk about. Coach, I know Coach Burns has always talked about, coach led teams. This is starting to hopefully defensively be in a player-led team, and guys are taking a lot of pride in their effort. And so we talk about when opposing teams put the film on, what are they going to see? Are they going to see a team that's flying around and they're excited to be there? And even with our fans, nobody wants to come watch a team that's not really playing and is excited to be out there. And I think they're thriving on that image right now, and hopefully we can continue to improve on it. We need a great week of practice, and that's where it all starts. It starts with guys, all right, you're not going to just do it on Saturdays. You've got to practice it, and when we challenge our players, they're responding right now. So we need to have a great week this week.
Really quickly, kind of a 20,000-foot overview. We know that Fresno likes to pitch it, so what's going to be the key to stopping the Bulldogs?
Well, they cause you a lot of problems just because of, they make you defend the entire field. It starts with their quarterback is extremely accurate. He's got some great receivers to throw it to. They can make you miss in space, and and I think their offensive line is really talented and athletic. So it's going to be a big time challenge for our guys this week.
Coach, best of luck as we make the trip out west, and keep up the excellent work. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to be here, and I'm enjoying working with our guys, and hopefully we can continue to see the improvement.
Thanks, Coach. And now let's take a look at what's coming up in the world of Kent State sports. Well, let's take a look at what's going on around Kent State University, brought to you by KSUTix.com. Our busy weekend starts on Friday at 3 o'clock when the field hockey team welcomes in the Ohio Bobcats with Kona Ice and a winter hat giveaway. On Friday night, our volleyball team hosts the Buffalo Bulls. It's Taylor Swift night with friendship bracelets being given away to our fans. On Saturday afternoon, our volleyball team once again rematches with the Buffalo Bulls. It's Blackout Cancer night and our FlaSHEs will game. Stay up late with our football team as they take on Fresno State with a 10:30 Eastern Time kickoff. And head over to Zeller Field inside Dick Stadium on Sunday afternoon when your FlaSHEs will take on the Zips in a wagon wheel game. It's a gold out, so be sure to wear your FlaSHEs gold. For Kent State tickets, events, and group ticket information, visit ksutix.com. Follow your Golden Flashes at Kent State Athletics on Facebook, X, and Instagram. For a look behind the scenes, press conferences, highlights, and more, follow us on YouTube at GFTV. For stats, stories, and complete information on your Golden Flashes, visit us on the web at kentstatesports.com. Welcome back to Flashtalk. We're brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Dan Griffin alongside Assistant AD for Student Athlete Development and Alumni Engagement, Katie Schilling. Talking FlaSHEs will weekend. Katie, thank you for joining us here on the set.
Absolutely.
Well, let's just kind of do a quick overview of what FlaSHEs will weekend is and what fans can look forward to when they come to our games here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started FlaSHEs Will in 2017, and it's a weekend. We're doing a weekend for this fall, which is great. It's a time to show support to all of our female athletes in Title IX and bring awareness to Title IX. And each year we keep adding more and more. We partner with the Women's Center here on campus. They give us great ideas. They will have groups come out as well to help continue to build, everything around Title IX and the supporting of women athletes.
So it starts with field hockey this Friday. We've got volleyball Friday and Saturday, and then soccer again on Sunday. So just talk a little bit about some of the things that we're going to see.
Yeah, and so there'll be different giveaways for each game for within the Women's Center and along with athletics. So there are going to be some social media posts leading up to those games from the Women's Center with trivia questions. If you win one of those, you'll be able to pick up your shirt at one of our games. There'll be sign making as well. So we love, having the kids come out and they love making their signs so that they can go inside, and we have different sayings that they can put on there. But there's going to be lots of giveaways and lots of different organizations out.
We'll talk a little bit about how fans can give back. They come to the games, they're like, hey, this is awesome. I want to figure out either how I can bring a group to be involved in this or to be able to give back. Just how can fans become even more a part of the FlaSHEs Will weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. So we will have, there's a FlaSHEs Will campaign that we always, have it on our crowdfunding pages. So if you go to support any of our teams, there's also a FlaSHEs Will that goes towards women's scholarships. So any donation will go straight to our women's scholarship programs. And that was started by Judy Devine last year around Title IX. So we're extremely lucky to have that. And then as well as if any teams want to come out, young sports teams, male or female, we want everyone to come out. They can contact our ticket office for group rates for volleyball. But field hockey and soccer, they can just come on out and enjoy the game as we don't ticket for those events.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little bit about the social media. This is obviously beyond the field of sport, and it goes well beyond that. But there's also a way to interact and have some fun with it as well to show your support and really cheer on the Golden FlaSHEs. So you can kind of look for some different things around all the stadiums as we try to make this as a fun of environment and basically an informative environment at the same time.
Yes, there's going to be lots of different information out there on ways that you can continue to stay involved in the community with community partners that focus a lot on women in sports. And like you said, Dan, it's beyond just sports. It's really come out, support our teams, but at the same time for a great message, especially showing the young girls that are there that they have a place here.
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to check out KentStateSports.com. Look for the promotional calendars. Look for the FlaSHEs Will pages to find out more and more about what's going on and how you can give back. And Katie, just thank you again for a few moments of your time and helping deliver this message for our student athletes.
Thank you, and go FlaSHEs.
Now let's take a look at one of the newest members of our women's basketball team and our Team Impact ceremony.
Welcome everyone here for a big day for women's basketball at Kent State. We get the opportunity to add a new teammate to our family, Casey Clark. We're really excited that Casey's going to be joining our team and our family. We want to welcome you to Kent State and your family to our family as well. We want to go through and get a chance to sign you to our team this year, okay? We know you love basketball, and so do all these girls too. So your new sisters here will be supporting you in a lot of things, and we just want you to do one thing, and that's to cheer loud for us, okay? Is that a deal? Good deal. So we're gonna sign your national letter of intent with Team Impact and Kent State women's basketball, okay? All right, official. Welcome to Kent State. Good stuff. So once again, just excited that you're a part of our team, and we're just gonna spend some time celebrating with you and hanging out. The girls want to take some pictures over there with you, and you can hold on to that ball as long as you want to, okay?
Welcome back to Flash Talk, where, as always, brought to you by Brian Hing and Cooling, Dan Griffin, talking some volleyball with head coach Haley Eckerman. And, Coach, we finally get to talk about some home cooking volleyball. We had a couple of local games here this week, and now we turn our attention to the MAC home opener in conference play. So that's awesome to get you guys in front of some raucous fans.
Yeah, it was great to be back home on Friday. We had a great crowd. The little modifications that we made with the bleachers and things just made it feel more homey, and it felt like people were on top of each other, which is what you want in the volleyball atmosphere. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but I think we got better, and it continues to kind of show the progression that we're making.
Well, you guys had a one for the ages, let's say, against Cleveland State on Thursday. So let's talk a little bit about that, because it involved one of the wilder sets you'll see in college volleyball that ended 35-33.
Yeah, I think, that goes to the coaching piece of, okay, knowing if this game continues, when I've got to put this person in, when I've got to hold off, and maybe, sometimes coaches will think, oh, I'm going to finish this, because we're up by one and all we need is one more point. And they'll put their smaller outside hitter, their smaller DS in, and then run out of those subs because we've gone farther than, the basic 25 points. So luckily for us, most of our kids play 6 rotation, or just Bryn kind of goes in and out, and we don't use as many subs. I think if we were running a 6-2 right now, though, we would have come into some things where it would have been debating on keeping, our short setter Lily in and having, a 5-foot person be up at the net, or, those are the things that come into play when you're thinking about that. But you prepare for those.
You're looking for 2 or sometimes 3, depending on where you are, straight points to end it, and you can kind of pick and choose a little strategically how you're going to attack if a team is locked into those 6.
Yeah, for us it was, okay, they're stuck with people who probably can't pass great, or they're in a rotation that they really struggle in. So this is when we have to take advantage of that. And I think our servers did a really good job. And I think our girls did a good job of staying calm. That can kind of be overwhelming, and you can go up and make, a wrong mistake. And my biggest communication with them was just staying focused, and knowing when to go up and bang a ball, and knowing when to be smart.
You fought off 7 match points. You win a crazy set like that. Now we turn our attention to MAC play, where it could be a set here or there, or it could even be a set here or there, depending on how the tiebreakers fall, to where being in and used to those scenarios can only benefit you guys in the longer run.
Yeah, and that's why we scheduled the way we did this year, knowing that if we can battle and figure it out when things aren't going great, that we can prepare ourselves for when conference play does come. And we know people are going to, one night they might show up, the next night they might not, or same for us. And so how can we manage that?
So now we got a 2-game set with the Buffalo Bulls coming into town. Let's start with a Taylor Swift night that is coming up on the 22nd, and this is the brainchild of our marketing team and one of your players who is a true fanatic.
Yes. So Bryn, very big fanatic, to the point where during preseason training we had team lunch, and basically she said, hey, are you okay with me showing up late? And I'm like, well, why? And she said, well, out of all my siblings and my mom and dad, I got the code for us to get tickets for her show, and they come out and I have to open it up on 5 or 6 devices, and I'd rather not be in the dining hall doing that and being in the locker room on my phone. And so she was able to do it, and she got good tickets. And so shout out to her for that. But yeah, she's been working with them. TJ came in and asked, what thoughts do you have? And I said, I haven't listened to Taylor Swift since Love Story. So, yeah, so you talked to her about that. I don't understand the eras. I just know there's some sort of friendship bracelet. So yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. KSU Tick's not as complicated as
Yes.
the Swifties, but 2-game set. When you enter this dynamic of MAC play, seeing a team on back-to-back nights, does that change anything?
It almost makes it a little bit easier because the changes you have to make the next night aren't as drastic. And it allows us for the whole week to prep for one team versus in the past 3-4 weekends, we've had to prep for multiple teams in 1 week. So it allows us to kind of slow it down, add the things that those teams do in practice so that we can kind of rep it out a little bit more.
Well, the Bulls are in town on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Best of luck. Let's talk about a 2-0 week when we meet again next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's going to do it for this edition of Flash Talk, brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. Join us next time when we take another inside look at all things Kent State. For all of us here at the GFTV studios, this is Dan Griffin saying good night and go Flashes.